Under the vast expanse of a starry sky, Daniel sat alone on his balcony, nursing a glass of wine and nursing his thoughts even more. He was, by all accounts, an ordinary man with an extraordinary yearning for love and connection. But despite his best efforts, dates seemed to slip through his fingers like sand. "Maybe I'm just not cut out for this," he muttered, gazing up at the brightest star in the sky. If only there was a way to make this easier. In a moment of whimsy or perhaps desperation, he closed his eyes and whispered, "I wish I could have an easier time getting dates." With that, he finished his wine, gave the star one last glance, and headed to bed, unaware of the cosmic forces aligning to grant his wish. The morning light filtered through the curtains, rousing Daniel from his sleep. He stretched and yawned, feeling an odd sensation throughout his body. He glanced down and froze. Instead of his familiar frame, he saw curves, voluptuous, unmistakable curves tightly encased in a shiny black catsuit. He bolted upright, but the sight in the mirror made him sit back down in shock. Staring back at him was a stunningly beautiful woman with long, flowing hair, full lips, and a body that seemed to defy gravity. Daniel, or whatever she was now, gasped, the sound high-pitched and feminine. Panic set in as he stumbled out of bed, the catsuit clinging to her new form like a second skin. "What the hell happened to me?" she whispered, though the voice was no longer her own. Frantic, she rifled through her phone for answers, but there were no messages, no emails, no sign of any change in her life except the one staring back at her. She glanced at the calendar. It was the same date as yesterday. Her heart pounded as she tried to think of anything that could explain this. Then she remembered the wish. "No, this can't be real," she murmured, but the evidence was irrefutable. The wish had been granted, but in the most literal and twisted way possible. She wanted an easier time getting dates, and now she was a walking magnet for male attention, incapable of refusing any man who approached. The reality of his situation crashed down on her. She was trapped in this body, this persona, and there was no going back. As the days went by, Daniel, now Dana, had to navigate her new life. Men flocked to her wherever she went, drawn by an almost supernatural allure. She found herself going on dates every night, unable to say no, her life now a whirlwind of attention and shallow affections. Despite the ease with which she attracted dates, there was a hollow emptiness within her. The connections she craved remained out of reach, replaced by fleeting moments and insincere flattery. Her identity, once clear and defined, became a blur of high heels and forced smiles. One evening, after yet another date that left her feeling empty and used, Dana sat on the same balcony where it all began. The night was clear, the stars bright. She gazed up at the same star, tears streaming down her face. "I just wanted to find love," she whispered. "Not this, not like this." But the stars offered no solace, no reversal of his fate. Dana was a prisoner of her own wish, bound to a body and a life that wasn't her own. The irony was cruel. She had asked for an easier time getting dates, but what she had truly needed was something no wish could grant: genuine, meaningful connection. And so, Dana lived on, a beacon for fleeting desires, forever seeking the one thing that remained out of reach, the stars above, a constant reminder of the night everything changed.